Hello and welcome back. I've got a few things to do today and I thought I'd take you along with me. So we'll do a bit of, I think we might do a bit of sort of redecoration. Oh, that's a big word for it. How about moving some stuff around, because we're still in lockdown here in Melbourne and are going to be right through into September. Okay, so come and keep me company while I do a few things that make my home feel just a little bit different. So what have I been doing? Well, I read a really good book called Hamnet, which is like Hamlet, only not, and that gives you a really big hint. Apparently it's the alternative pronunciation and spelling of Hamlet. So it's beautiful. It's so well written. It's by Maggie O'Farrell and it is a delight to read. It really is. It's a little bit sad, because it's set in a time when another time when you had plagues, but it's about the mother of Hamnet, the little boy, and how their lives evolve. It's just beautifully written. Okay, I'll just leave it there. It's, I don't know, what is it? It's like eating a peach on a hot summer's day. It's a joy. That's what I'll say, because I can't tell you anything else because I'll ruin it for you. I don't want to do that. So yeah, go and find it. And I've been conducting a war on paper. Do you do this? I have a terrible habit. Well, it's not a terrible habit, it's just me, isn't it? It's just what I do. I think of something or I see something that's clever and I write it down and I'm just on scrap paper. But then I've got to sort out the dross from, the wheat from the chaff. And I was going to say sheep from the goats, but I always think that's a bit rough on the, I don't know who it's rough on, the sheep or the goats, but it's rough on one of them. But this is definitely dross from not. I've been getting it into piles over here, and I've got a pile that's called Just Me, which means I've got to sort that out and either get rid of it or put it down in a book, or sort of an ideas book, something like that. People have asked me about it, and perhaps I'll do it for September, but how I run my daily planning and my journal and think, well, I don't really journal. I do one line a day, which is awfully easy. So that's really the extent of my journaling these days. I'm scared that if I start writing about what's going on and all the scary stuff that's around, I'll never get out of the wallow. And honestly, I'd rather have a Pollyanna day than a disappearing sort of Scrooge sort of day. It's not always easy though, and I've been thinking about it, what's making it something that's survivable. Hey, look, we're incredibly privileged here in Australia, and despite the lockdowns we have a very low rate of virus. It's just that we also have a very low rate of vaccines, as I've said before, and we're all getting vaccinated as fast as possible, as fast as the supplies allow. We're all doing really well. I get my second shot tomorrow, so in a fortnight's time I will be hopefully as protected as I'm going to be until there are boosters around. I just hope I have antibodies. Yeah, I know. You think you're having a vaccine, of course you'll have antibodies. I have a myeloproliferative neoplasm cancer called polycythemia rubra, and like many people with leukemias of various types, some of us are not developing antibodies to the vaccines. I know, it's just the pits, isn't it? You think, what? You go through feeling, because I was really sick after my first jab, and you think, did I really do that? And there's no effect. So in about maybe a month's time, I'll have my antibodies checked just to see if I actually have developed them. I know, I want to know. Maybe I don't want to know. Maybe I want to live in blissful ignorance and have my e-passport and all the things that are going to go with being vaccinated. Yeah, maybe I'll choose blissful ignorance actually, and I'll continue to be careful. But I was thinking, what is it that stops me from really plunging, into the tough part of this last, 18 months and more? And I think it's probably something as ordinary as Bruce Lee said, and I wouldn't have known this, but my son, my oldest son, likes Bruce Lee's way of going about life, and he said, be like water. Basically, it's a version of go with the flow. Doesn't stop you having ambitions and goals and wanting to be the best you can be, but it stops you from fighting against the flow. It says basically fit wherever you find yourself, and so I'm sort of trying to fit myself in this place that I, like so many others, have found myself. And it stops the argument that things should be different, or I should be able to, and I ought to, and things, and it just takes it away. You're going, well, it isn't, and you have to deal with what is and live, and I know it's, the whole mindfulness thing and stoicism, but it's true. You have to live in the moment. You don't get any other moments. You can want to live in all sorts of other moments, and you can have delightful memories, and you can have anticipation of futures, but the one you're actually living in is this one right now, and it's what you do in this one that determines how you feel. So if I wanted to rage against the world, where would I be? I would be terribly stressed and anxious and really fraught. So I don't think that would be a good thing for me. Now maybe that activates some people, maybe that makes other, some of you sort of push forward more or something. Maybe it's a real stimulus for you to get sort of cross with the situation, but I know it wouldn't be for me. Hey, I'm a Piscean. This is water. I'm thinking, yeah, I can strike out and head for the bank or the shore or whatever, but I'm not going to fight upstream to do that. I'm going to go with the flow and head that way and maybe land on this island and have a bit of fun there and then move along. I mean, going with the flow doesn't mean flopping around and doing nothing. It just means going with the inevitability of where we are. I am, because this is not about you, this is about me. So, I don't try and talk about other people. All I can do is share where I am at the moment with me. And I'm actually okay. I'm pretty good. I'm sort of very happy in myself. Would I like things to be different? Of course, absolutely. And I'm disappointed for my son and his wife that they're not able to go out to baby shops and go buying for their baby that's coming in December. And I'm disappointed that my son in Zambia and his wife and child and new baby to come are not able to hop on a plane and come and visit, and I can't hop on a plane and go and visit them. Yes, of course I'm disappointed about those things, but I'm not going to stew about it, because I know that's not going to do me any good. Okay, so that's how I'm getting by, and that's how I'm keeping this part okay, by not fighting against it, by being like water, which I wish I was in, by the way, but guess what? Pools are closed, gyms are closed. It's alright, we can still walk outside as long as we wear a mask. So yeah, I'll go with that. I was saying is, this thing, I'm thinking of moving to here and swapping out this little table to the other side. I'll probably leave the wicker lamp here in this situation, but on that table. We'll see. I'm just doing we'll see. How about that? And then the other thing was these, and I've had these sitting here for ages, and I thought, well, I could tidy up this little bookshelf here, which is all my cookbooks and things, and also quite a few blue things, also some red dumbbells and other things, but I thought the blue things would go up onto that buffet quite well, and this needs to, well, you can see, needs a bit of a quick tidy and a wipe down. It's the dust that accumulates behind that's the problem. Okay, well, I've done it. No, I'm glad I didn't film it. There was lots of pushing and cleaning and oh dear, and goodness, that thing's heavy because it has 3 sheets of very, very thick safety glass on it, and they weigh a ton. But I think that's a good look. I haven't completely fluffed everything up again yet. Hang on. This one is looking a bit dog-eared. There we go. I think it actually looks like there's more space. Now, it's just that a change is as good as a holiday. I've got to tidy up those cords. Does anybody else really dislike this sort of thing, cords hanging around? And I have to find somewhere for this plant now, because I'm not putting it back over there. It looks, I really like it being empty again. That's how I designed it. I found the lamp on Uber special at a beautiful little shop down in Portsea, and it was just discounted beyond belief, and I loved it. And the interesting thing is that they, of course, couldn't sell it, so they just slashed the price. But everybody who sees it loves it. I call it my fish trap light. But yeah, and then so I needed something to put it on, so that's when I designed that little table. And it was just to make it airy and light and have the light shine down and through. So I kept the, I suppose it's resin, the ball, it's not quite in the middle. And of course it doesn't absolutely fit through here, could you? Because I have to go around the sides. Oops, I think it has to move slightly. I'll do that later, it's no biggie. But I like that open look again, which is what I always had with it. I was actually just thinking of making my lunch, but the floor's still a wee bit wet, so I'll have to go and grab a cloth and clean those up. And then I will make myself some lunch, I think. Okay, I'm hungry. Is that too dark? It is a bit dark. Let's have some light. Let there be light. Okay, easy peasy. As always, bit of oil into the pan. Doesn't have to be too much. I'm just going to put onion in there after I've wiped up, because it leaked oil on me. I do like my little rooster dooster, but he does leak a bit. He needs a new cork. Trying to decide whether I'll do a whole onion or only a half. I think I'll do a half. Now what else do I put in there? A chilli. I've got some of these nice little jalapenos that are mediumly warm. I think I need a bit of garlic too, don't I? So they are actually whole tomatoes, which is, I always buy crushed. But apparently, this day I didn't. So I just get out my kitchen scissors. All I use for is food, so it's just fine. And snip them up. I'm just going to put the lid on and let that cook down for a minute before I put the eggs in, and then I'll put the lid back on and they cook down for a little bit longer. You see, they just snuggle down in there, pop on, and that will help them to cook through. See, they're just about perfect. There we go. So there we go, maybe not restaurant quality, but not a bad lunch. I'm just going to wash up some strawberries, ready to have them later as a nice treat. Strawberries are wonderful at this time of the year. Okay, what do you think of that? That is my strawberry milkshake. Well, it actually isn't milk, it's strawberry with some Greek yogurt. And that's it. I just put it in the NutriBullet. Now I'm going to sit outside, enjoy what has turned into a beautiful day, have my fruit and some extra protein with the yogurt, and oh boy, it's not too bad a day. Well, it's much later now. I had a few things I had to get done, so it's actually dinner time, but because I had a pretty good lunch, I'm making myself a really nice salad. You ready? And I know there'll be some of you who'll go, oh, I don't like beets. That's fine, I do, I love them. So here we go. This is a blood orange and beetroot salad, and so it's literally just some nice greens, some sliced beetroot or beets depending on where you come from, and I'm just putting some feta over the top. Such a nice light tasty cheese. I have some caramelized walnuts to go on top. These are just walnuts tossed in a tiny little bit of butter and some maple syrup. So a bit of an indulgence, but what can I say? Well, that's not going to work very well, is it? Look, it's dark. Okay, just a minute. Okay, it's a slightly more coordinated, shall we say, approach. Yum. I can tell they're going to be absolutely delicious. Because you know what, in lockdown, you need a few little treats. Well, I didn't sign out last night. I lost the light, but I still wanted to finish up that little shelf with the recipe books on it and give it a good clean. So that's all done, nice and tidy. I wrote out some things into my sort of personal recipe book. Got rid of an awful lot of paper. I also tidied up this, as you can see, and you know, there are tweaks to be made, but hey, look, I'm at home, you know, pretty much. The only slightly interesting thing I'll do today is that I'll get to go outside my 5k zone, because I have to go to the doctors to get my second jab. It's AstraZeneca, so there's a 12-week wait, excuse me, between, and yeah, that will be about it. So I will then come home, I'll edit this, get it up by tonight, and yeah, have it out for you. Apart from that, the only thing I wanted to make sure was that several people have contacted me and said that they are not getting their notifications and that I put up a video. So all I can suggest is you go back into where you subscribed, that you make sure that you know, that when you push the little bell for the notifications, you take the top one, and hopefully that should make sure that I'm notified. Not that I'm notified, that you're notified. I actually know that I put up a video. Yeah, and so that's all I can suggest. Not sure what else I can do about that. I will have a look on YouTube to see if there are any particular settings, but I don't think there's anything I can change. Other than that, please give me a thumbs up. It helps my little channel. And apart from that, I hope that whatever you're doing, you're having a fabulous day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.